Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Star Ladder Season 9, the China Playoffs. Only 4 teams remain, and from those 4, only two. Only 2 were in the berth to Kiev. I'm LDB on the summit. Of course, I'm joined here today by my man, Winter himself. Your expert for all things Chinese and Southeast Asian Dota. Winter, how are you doing?
I'm good.
You sound really good. We've got our TriCast going today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got our friend the bird. He's joining us for the cast.
I thought I don't know. I tried another mic. It's supposed to block out the bird sound.
Well, I appreciate your effort, but you need to work on it harder. No, it's good. I don't mind the bird at all. I think it adds some character to the cast. But Winter, coming up, we've got a best of 3 here. It's DK versus Newbee. The format for the playoffs is double elimination, so the loser is not actually eliminated, contrary to what I had said previously in another broadcast. But they are knocked down to the losers bracket, and they've got a harder road if they want to make it to Kiev. So with that being said, the draft's underway. Let's go ahead. We'll hop into it, and we'll talk about what the teams are plotting here. So, well, we see DK on the Dire side, Newbee on the Radiant. Been very interested to see how the draft progresses, but it was a first overall pick Batrider. A hero has completely come back to prominence. I know you like to run him a lot for Orange. He fell off for a bit, but he's been really popular in Asia and pretty much every region, to be honest.
I guess he's still really good now, apart from the fact that the ultimate is just a bit harder to use, but he's still the same hero like when he was first pick and first ban a few patches ago.
You just have to be more precise with your blink. Like, now you can't just blink near them. You've got to blink right on top of them.
Yeah, and the other thing is the vision. I think the vision nerf is actually hurting him more than the range of the lasso, because without vision you can't pinpoint the best point of initiation without his vision is like really bad when you're fireflying. It's really, you can't really see anything unless someone else on your team gives you vision to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in reply to the Batrider, there are some ways to deal with him, and Nyx Assassin is certainly one of them. They'll have the Carapace to walk in Firefly when the initiation comes, and how they look to run it is, well, with the Invoker pick, this suggests an Ice 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 Invoker. Would be surprised to see anything to the contrary. I also do want to mention, before we talk too much more about the draft, Burning is back in action. He's back in the captain's seat. We had a brief stand-in period from Black, but Black no longer with the team, at least not for this game. I don't know how healthy Burning is. I guess that'll be a question we'll see sort of over the course of the series, but if he's playing, I imagine that he feels it gives his team a better chance to win.
He's healthy enough to captain the team. No wonder the drafts feel a little weird from the start.
Yeah, this is more of a Burning draft and maybe a little bit less of a Mushi draft.
He gave away the bat and he picked the Nyx right away. He wants to use the Nyx against the bat. He will only work in the early 20 to 25 minutes until about there before the bat gets his BKB, or the bat can just initiate without using Firefly, so he can't carapace him.
Yeah, and then pop it later on if you want to.
Yeah, but usually you have the Firefly on to just bypass the Terran and just find your best angle. But BKB is just a very important item for him now.
Absolutely. And Visage was the reply from Newbee, so they go for a support that hasn't really been a high priority, to be totally honest. The 2 big ones got banned in the first stage. That's Shadow Shaman, Ancient Apparition. Lycan also ate the ban. And in the second stage, the one ban that I find quite interesting is this Wisp ban. Something DK has run once in a while. It's always just the threat of the Tiny Wisp. It became their go-to strat for a little while at MLG Columbus. We saw it after that. Later on, I believe we saw it in the WPC Ace Finals. It's something that they'll turn to in big matches, and just a kind of a terrible way to lose, right? You give away that Wisp Tiny, and before that you thought your draft was solid. Suddenly you don't have an answer for the relocate, and the draft just falls apart. So Newbee, I feel like, just playing it very safe with that Wisp ban.
Yeah, I think the Wisp is very good here for DK if they get it. There's a Nyx to find a pick off and Invoker Soundstrike to combine with the relocate. So banning out the Wisp here is really good. Like, it even counters the Batrider to a certain extent.
The Centaur now comes out, so that'll be Ice Ice Ice's hero. This does put Nyx. It could be the Mushi mid.
Yeah, it's actually, I think,
is
Mushi
it possible?
Will be on the Centaur, yeah.
Mushi Centaur, you're thinking solo mid, or offlane Centaur for Mushi?
Offlane, like the one.
Yeah, you're right, because they have the Invoker. What am I talking about? Yeah, and they did this before too. So, offlane Mushi Centaur. They won that game, Winter, but the game started awfully. This was the game in the group stage. It was actually against Newbee. No, it was against LGD. It was against LGD, but the offlane Centaur for Mushi. They had Ice 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 on his Invoker. They were down like
Okay.
10, 12k gold, and they
How
came
can you
back.
forget that game? It was the double damage.
Yeah, it was. I didn't forget it. I didn't forget the game. I just mixed the names up. Jeez, man. Why you hate? So now we see the Rubik come out. I like this pick against Nyx and Centaur. The Centaur blinks in and you're quick. You just lift him, throw him back. And the same, because that stomp does have a cast animation. And same for the Nyx. When he comes in, you could just lift him, throw him away. So one of the better supports against Nyx and Centaur in general.
Yeah, but it's like very greedy. Rubik and Visage early on both needs a lot of levels and a lot of maybe not so much of a farm, but yeah, they need a lot of levels and they can't really protect your other lanes early on. They can do a early smoke gang, but if your other lanes are under pressure, they are not the best heroes to sit down and guard the other heroes.
Wow, and they'll go into the Weaver against a Rubik, something that usually in the past has gone the opposite way. Like when you go Weaver, you normally ban the Rubik, but they see Rubik and they say, we don't care. Sure, you've got Rubik for the lift, but if we give Burning a good start, he's just not going to die anyway. I guess that's the thinking.
Yeah, and Weaver, I feel it's one of those heroes. If they want to go around the map killing with the Centaur and the Invoker, the Weaver is the type of carry that you don't need to babysit and you don't need to take care of him. He's grown up after a few items and he can take care of himself.
He's not like the Gyrocopter or the Shadow Fiend where they're still a baby for a prolonged period of time. You know, it takes them all to hatch and grow their wings and reach full maturity. Weaver, he's a quick one to grow. Like an
Yeah.
insect. Most insects take like what, a day before they're ready to start having children. So Burning will grow up fast this game. They'll ban out the Morphling here. Something that Hao has played occasionally. We have seen his anti-mage quite a bit as well. At least there was 1 or 2 games I remember where they went to it. Not sure if they do it this game, but they'll ban out the Morphling for now.
They need a bug squasher. There's a cockroach. And then there's the other Nyx. I think they are of the same family. They need some carry that can lock these two heroes down.
Did somebody call for an exterminator?
Yeah, I think Newbee is gonna call for some blinking exterminator.
What do you have in mind there?
I feel like anti-mage could be the one that to do the job. What else is in the pool for? I feel like Gyro might be a bit risky since he's not mobile enough against the Centaur, Nyx, and the Weaver. Maybe something more like an anti-mage which is more mobile. You can deal with the Weaver.
I like the anti-mage. Also, in lane against Centaur, he does pretty well. Sure, you have to worry about return harass, but you can at least mono burn him, and then he's just never going to kill you or threaten. So at that point, you just kind of ignore him and just let
Yeah, anti-mage is also really good against Invoker in the later part. So that carry could be something Newbie looks forward to.
And they'll go
I
Chen
don't think there's
for
any
DK.
other carries. Oh, Chen?
The Lamb Chen? Interesting. Not DK, a team that will run a Lamb jungler on occasion, but only very occasionally. For them, the junglers are quite situational.
It's gonna be I feel very passive early game because like Chen and the Nyx, it's very difficult to make an opening. You can do it, but you need the appropriate creeps, and Nyx is not the best support to do it. And it's gonna be like very greedy by DK as well. 2 of these supports take some time, and Chen is like more of five manning against them when he gets like the mech and 2 or 3 creeps.
I think honestly, Winter, looking at this draft, my biggest point of concern right now for Newbie is the Dragon Knight. Because Dragon Knight mid against Ice 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 Smoker is going to get absolutely crushed.
Yeah, and if the Chen sends over a creep for the first 2 minutes, he's done.
And that's where DK have very independent carries. They're strong, independent ones. We'll see a Spectre come out from Newbie, but they don't actually need help for the Invoker or the Weaver.
Is this the bug squasher?
He takes a while. I don't know about this pick.
He doesn't have any natural stuff to kill off the mobile heroes. He just needs like time to get his radiance and he'll be able to chase. He's gonna be good at chasing them down. But yeah, like you said, he needs a lot of time to come aligned.
Well, we're gonna see Burning just scurry bottom. He's been pulled an observer. Just wants to look to block the camp, and we'll have to see if these sentries that Newbie have are gonna be effective. One's on Chow 8, and they're actually sending only one bottom with King J, so it's quite possible they'll miss on the D ward here. But we'll talk more about that in just a second. We'll introduce the teams now. I will take over Newbie. I'll leave your Malaysian and Singaporean friends for you, Winter. We've got Chow 8. We'll be playing the Bat Rider in the offlane. Director 8, as he's well known. He's really stepped his game up after a shaky start with this team. Banana on the Rubik. That puts Mr. How, or what is that supposed to mean? Lumda on the Spectre. King J playing the Visage. He has transitioned to a support role, and that leaves Moo as your solo mid Dragon Knight. Just pull 2 tangos and rushing a bottle. So, well, Winter, it's the boys in red, Team DK.
The boys with the Singaporeans emulation. We have Team DK on the Dire side, MMI will be on the Nyx. Lamb will be handling the Chen, Ice on his signature Invoker, Burning will be playing the safe lane Weaver, and Mushi is going off lane on the Centaur.
Yeah, Burning safely Weaver, he is rushing Raid of Aquila, or at least Bassi, which will allow them to push this tower fairly early if they want to. Not in the first few minutes, but around that 5-minute mark. Xiaowei just denied a regen run that he could have just picked up. Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually quite safe for him to pick that up.
Yeah, that's a Chen. What's the Chen gonna do?
Yeah, maybe he was worried that the Weaver was invis next to the DD, so he just like breaks it.
That would be the one way he could die, but generally the carry's gonna be in the lane blocking the wave, so...
Yeah, he's not taking any risks, he's the director.
Yes. He relies on his safe early game, and well, then later on he'll just make the clutch plays, but... Yeah, this mid lane is my biggest concern for Newbee. Ice Invoker has the better creep block, and it's just a bad matchup. And he's going Exhort Invoker, so it should be a very easy time for him mid. And then I guess the big question is, can Newbee get the trades elsewhere?
Looking at the other lanes, I feel the Spectre safe lane will be pretty good. He's going to be free farming. The Centaur can't do too much to him. He's not an off lane that can disrupt the Spectre's farm. And they will have the Bat Rider getting towards the jungle later on, after maybe a few minutes in the lane. He can even like go... He can even maybe stay in the lane for quite some time, considering this lane is actually not that dangerous to him.
You know, Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, until they reach another few levels. They're actually going to try and kill him. He still has Firefly.
They found Xiao 8 here, but he'll Firefly north, and they'll actually let him get out. It's only a level 1 Nyx, so no Carapace, not a whole lot of damage output just yet. Interesting for DK, 2 things I've noticed. One is they're running the Chen, and 2 is that they blocked their own big camp. So this is where Xiao 8 can't do the side pull, and maybe the Chen is almost designed as a not a counter, but a way to deal with the Bat Rider offlane, where you don't need this camp, you don't need the double pull, because you've only got 1 support pull lane, you'll just stack this one, and if he goes to contest that, he's missing the lane experience, and then Lamb gets a ton out of the wood, so this offlane Bat feels like it may not be quite as effective, although it still will be effective as it normally is.
Yeah, but having the Chen, I feel that the other reason is being that Newbee needs, like I mentioned, the Rubik and Visage needs to take a lot of levels, and they can't really jungle efficiently. So if you pick a jungler of your own that can jungle and do something later on, it's gonna be pulling your team ahead in terms of XP.
Well, Xiao 8 is looking to contest here. He walks in, will steal just a few creeps, but already the majority of them were claimed by MMY, and Xiao 8 does hit level 3, so still doing well. And that's where you run the offlane Centaur, not as good at finding experience in the offlane as a hero like the Bat Rider. So even though the Chen helps counterbalance it, overall it's a pretty even start. Lamb found an illusion rune, so his jungle game is just very swift up to this stage. Already 12.
Yeah, he's gonna be just power farming. There's not much rotations that he can make this early on, considering the lanes his team has. But when he reaches the point where he has his mech, that's gonna be a very strong point. Double Forge Spirits, 2 or 3 crits from the Chen, and a mech.
I gotta say, Moo is playing this one quite well. He rushed the bottle, and he hasn't taken too much harassment. Still sitting on one of his pool tangos, has the boots out. The bottle is going back to base, so, I mean, he's doing his job. But this is where Ice looks to punish him. Nice Dragon Tail there. Will help keep him safe, but Ice is not winning this quite as hard as I expected he would. Moo's just playing it very, like, intelligently and not taking too many risks in the lane.
Yeah, Mushi's gonna pull one wave of creep, hopefully, towards his side. Oh, okay. He actually took a risk there. He could have got lifted.
Yeah, it's where the Rubik has 290 move speed, just a little bit too slow for the boot Centaur. I think he was like 10 units out of range or something.
Yeah, he almost got the lift off. Might have been his death there. They're gonna smoke towards me though, here. Level 2 on the Visage, level 2 as well on the Rubik. This is gonna be... They need to execute this really well.
And while this is happening, DK applies pressure top. Your Spectre not yet level 6. Bat Rider will return to the lane. Gotta be careful about a Carapace into Impale. It's not level 2 Impale. Chen doesn't have the best creeps, though, so probably not gonna get this kill, and
yeah,
the smoke will go top, but no rune here. Oh, can they actually fight into this? I don't know if they want to fight into this DK army. This is very risky.
If the Dragon Knight has a teleport, maybe they can. If someone else can come in. There's no Haunt, and there's no TP on the Dragon Knight.
There's no TP coming, either, so no way to contest, really. And now this gives Mushi more in the offlane, although he doesn't realize it, but he will soon. These supports about to show themselves top.
I don't know about this. I thought they could have just still tried middle. I thought there was a better chance of them succeeding there.
It's an
Very
Exort
well.
Invoker. If you catch him, he's dead. He's not getting away from that.
I thought like the chances of them getting the kill was in middle, but probably they were just more worried of the tower taking a lot of damage or even potentially going down. That's why they just rotated to top.
Of course, the one risk with the with going for Ice, he's burned teams before. I think actually in that same game against LGD, they dove a mid, and he ended up getting the first blood just with a well-executed Cold Snap and Sunstrike under tower, so... Teams are... That's almost respect to Ice, I want to say. Just like, we don't want to risk it.
It's also the point, I think the one point where maybe it drove them to ditch the idea of ganking mid was because the Dragon Knight hasn't have level 6. It's gonna be hard. They need the Dragon Knight to have a stun on the Invoker first before the Rubik follows up, since he's very slow and no boots on the Rubik.
And now these Newbee supports are really falling behind because of that failed gank. Level 2 on both of them, level 3 Nyx, level 5 Chen. This is a concern.
Yeah, both of them need a lot of levels, and here comes to the point where the Chen is going to make a huge difference now. And after seeing the supports at bottom, I think he was just going to go back towards top to finish the tower.
And although Xiaowei can slow this, he's not going to stop it. Not by himself.
He can't really stop it. He might
actually die here. Oh, Impale actually misses. Was anticipating Xiaowei would go into the ravine, but even if that clipped him, I don't think he was going to die.
Yeah, he was at a very safe spot.
Bottom lane. There's a Diva Mushi. Look at that Desolate damage. Hits so hard. And even the Stomp thrown out, it's not enough. He relocates forward. First blood to Hao. Wow. That Desolate damage Desolate just chews through the Centaur.
Only level 1, but it was already enough damage.
Yeah, it's a great value point to have. 20 pure damage. That's a lot. And he has the phase boots as well, so it really adds up.
They're gonna have a trade by taking the top tower. It will depend whether Xiaowei is gonna be able to, or he's gonna try and forcefully defend this.
There's a TP from the Dragon Knight now, has level 6, then they have to let this deny go through, it looks like.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they can risk it. The Weaver doesn't have time lapse.
Even if he did, I think he just dies under the tower to a Dragon Breath and a tail. It'd be very risky.
Yeah, it's gonna be really risky. Oh no, burning.
Burning, he's been sick, he's gotten caught. No Breathe Fire Mana though. Oh, barely living. Oh my goodness. That Poison Breath not fatal, but the tower will be denied. They did force the TP out, but Ice hasn't really done anything with it. Just farms mid, he's going for the Midas, but generally when you leave the lane against Exort Invoker, he does some damage to the tower, but he just didn't have the creep equilibrium where he needed it to actually damage the tower.
Not this early though. Before he has 2 Forge Spirits, he can't really deal as much damage to a tower as people would think.
Yeah,
I think,
it's a bit slow.
Yeah, he's still level 7 and his Midas will be coming in the next minute or so, but he's not actually as farm as I thought he would be. The Dragon Knight left the lane, but he's like only 5 CS behind the Invoker.
Yeah, and it's a matchup that traditionally we see Exort Invokers just dominate. I've seen Ice get solo kills against Dragon Knight, but Mu has played it a little safer, and he knows what to do. Like when Ice cold snaps him, he didn't panic early on, he just turned around, Dragon Tailed him, and then walked away, and there's nothing Ice could do.
Probably the main reason I feel was because like the ward they played. Remember the offlane ward for DK was in this area, this position here.
Yes.
It didn't really spot out the support rotations a lot of the times.
Oh, they're going for a banana here. They start with a double edge into a Sunstrike, and it just nails him, raining down the Hellfire. They'll bring him down. Well done.
There's no way he could have stomped him. Like he needed to, because it takes too long to cast against a Rubik and can just leave you. So the double edge was the best option you have there.
Nicely done. And not having seen a Sunstrike yet, just wasn't ready. Exort Invoker stood out a hero we see a whole lot of, and seems like Newbee weren't quite prepared for it in that case.
Yeah, it's gonna give him his Midas there, and Burning has rotated all the way to bottom to pressure the Spectre's lane. They don't want the Spectre to be free farming too much here.
Yeah, he's 52 and 21. Now this is where Burning will get free farm though, if he wants. I mean, I guess they're gonna leave the Nyx level 6, and he'll rotate bottom, but he can still get a lot of farm against the Spectre, so... Do they look to contest the Spectre? They give the Rubik some farm top. This is the stage of the game where both teams just trying to get their supports as many levels and key items as possible.
This point I feel it's a bit more dangerous for Newbee. They do not have sentries and their supports are really poor. The Nyx is already level 6. He's a decent level 6. Maybe he's gonna be looking to TP into other lanes to get something done. pretty soon.
Nyx level
Sense-
6, Centaur level 6, and
Yeah.
they've got Sunstrike. It's very dangerous right now for Newbee.
Instant death to anyone, I think. No one can survive that if they got caught alone.
Now remember, there are some ways to counter gank. Dragonite with the TP, very scary. But I think the other main one is your Spectre counter gank. But the dive goes bottom onto King J, and this is just Burning committing for a kill. He can time-lapse out if he wants to. Now Mushi comes through, jukes away, the Flame Break comes out. Now the Haunt turnaround is attempted. They get a Dragon Tail from Burning, but he's still got a time-lapse. They lasso him! Perfect chain stun. They bring him down. Sunstrike.
Oh, Sunstrike.
Oh, just off the mark.
Yeah, he didn't expect him to TP at that moment, but yeah. But King J was like, he was really calm there. He could have TP'd right from the start, but he knew his team was coming and he just continued staying there so that the Weaver would go on him, and in the end Burning got caught because of that.
Well, mid lane, they'll try and counter here. They'll pull the creep aggro off the tower, continue pushing, and we'll see a Spectre TP on has Phase Drums, takes a Test of Faith, not a very good roll on the damage. Now Cold Snap, and the Forge Spirit comes for the ambush. Tower not denied. So DK, bring down a tower. And that'll be the end of the aggression, at least for now, but it's still a fairly close game so far. Moo farming quite well on the solo mid Dragonite. 3,500 net worth, not too shabby for the matchup. Your Spectre's getting good farm, but Newbee are starting to lose ground now. The tier 1's down top, the tier 1's down mid, and this is where DK take that tier 1 bottom, and then they can just Rosh with Chen, and just a lot of tanky heroes, even the Forge Spirits. It'll be a pretty easy Rosh attempt for them at that point.
Yeah, and then he's gonna try Sunstrike.
Oh, there's an
what
Impale
happened?
bottom lane?
Where's the Sunstrike? Okay, I think he didn't notice that he didn't realize Invoker didn't have Sunstrike cooldown on the Invoke. Otherwise that would have been a kill.
Yeah, I think he had just invoked the Cold Snap, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a wasted opportunity, but the Bat Rider's gonna get his Blink Dagger fairly soon. And when he has his Blink, that's gonna be really scary for DK. Initiation by Newbee is gonna be like a Blink lasso into the Haunt.
It
It's
is
very powerful.
Well, they do have Hand of God, Time Lapse, and Nyx, so I don't think it's
That
and the
if you're
Centaur.
if you're fighting together.
Yeah. Well, they have some global help, like the Centaur ult. The lasso isn't always enough lockdown, and there's the Hand of God, so it definitely can be enough. It just depends if Newbee have some follow-up stunts there along with the lasso.
Yeah, but at the moment DK is a stronger 5-man lineup, and Newbee just wants to farm more at the moment and split push. They still need level 6 on the Visage. That's the key thing they need right now. The Rubik already has his level 6. He's gonna be able to steal the Stampede and counter it.
The experience is quite even, but the supports are a little bit behind here for Newbee. Their cores are doing well, but they've got a level 5 Visage, a Spectre who just hit level 6 in bottom lane. Ice, looking for a dive. He did go for the Midas. He's had it for some time, and now works towards... I imagine the Necrobook, actually. When you've got the Chen, it's just such a good synergy. It could be a 4-step.
I think he wants to get his team's first 4-star against the Rubik and the Bat Rider. That's going to be very important for them. But you might be right as well. There's a good chance also he gets a Necrobook. It's very strong with his team's
And it's
lineup.
also good for Roshing, and they do have the really good Rosh positioning now,
Yeah,
but we'll see.
top lane. Mushi's gonna wait. Oh, the Spectre unfortunately decides not to go out the lane.
He's waiting for nothing, yeah. So I was like, don't I miss SLTV? Yeah, 4 heroes mid. Newbee are just, they're playing scared. Look at their vision right now. They what can they do? They just can't really cross that line. Not without smoking.
But they still have a very good lineup to take it like later in the point of the game. So I feel
You know,
they're still alright.
it's a Director 8 draft, man. It's just, let's turtle it out now. We've given up the early game a little bit, and now we outplay them in the mid and the late game. We get the better pickoffs, and we just take it late. That's what Newbee's gonna look to do. Top lane. They've gone in here with the Centaur ult. No, just a blink in. But he's too tanky. The early drum's making him very survivable.
Did he miss the Impale? I think he missed the Impale.
Okay. Yeah, I think he did. There was a blink stomp, but... Oh, they're going bottom now. Ice. He could get caught out here by the
he's
smoke.
Screwed. I think he should be screwed. Where's
There's
the
no points in Wex. Nothing to do but die here. And he might just be okay with it. He's pushing the tower down, but yeah, walks right into the Dragonite, into the stun. They'll lift him up. They can lasso him as well if they need to, and they might be forced to Sunstrike. Stolen Sakuchi from Banana makes the difference here, though, and they'll dodge it, and they're now killing up some Forge Spirits, too.
Yeah, that was also really smart by my Newbee. The sentry ward saw Observer ward, that's why they knew that SSI thought he was safe, and they didn't deward the ward, because they just went for the kill right away. SSI was like, okay, I see nobody coming for me, but...
Yeah, that's where sure, he dies, and he bought his Necro recipe before dying, and he is giving this Weaver some space. Burning now. Well, not farming great, but farming pretty decently. Are they going on King J mid? No, not yet. Moshi's hunting though.
They need to wait for Sunstrike.
Oh, you're not killing Moo. That's not happening.
Yeah,
this guy's got 1300 health.
Smoke.
Good luck.
They're gonna go towards the Burnings lane right now. He's fairly weak. A lasso and he's dead.
Blink. Lasso is there. They need the follow-up stunts from the familiars. Don't pull them away from them. 1, 2. Soul Assumption. Well done. Oh, there was a second there where I thought Xiao 8 was just going to start pulling him away from the familiars, but he only moved him about an inch, and then they get the easy kill.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Winter, Burning, not showing that, like, omniscient game sense that we've seen from him normally. He's been getting caught out, overextending a little bit this game, so maybe he's still feeling the effects of his illness.
Yeah, usually you don't see him get caught out by those Bad Rider back gangs, and the map itself was like, the lanes are, there's no heroes at bottom, and there's no heroes at middle, so there was a good chance that Newbee were going for the top kill since he's pushing way past the river. But
then again, Ice died to a similar gank. I mean, he even had the ward behind him and saw no one, so I don't know.
That one was a bit of like, because the ward saw nothing, that's why he was there because of that.
Well, this is a Xiao 8 team. They are going to use smoke a lot in the mid game, so can't rely on your wards too much.
Are they going for Rosh? Yeah, they're gonna go for this.
This is the power of the mass summon strat, basically. Your Necro comes out. Can Newbee contest though? They've got Haunt here. Lasso still cooling down for 30 seconds. Familiars.
Unless they know though, they need to figure out. Otherwise, I don't think they will go without vision. They will see burning outside the pit.
Oh, they're gonna feed some familiars here. They're gonna feed both of them. Oh no, not good. Yeah, this is over.
He still has the ultimate. He still has his resummon.
Still though, they won't even be there in time. This Roche is gone, and they're just gonna have to give it up. And Bernie will take it. Now the next time they go for him, maybe he can get out. Still though, I think Newbee got good trades before that happened. They got kills on each core. They killed Burning. They killed Ice. Sure, they give up the Roche now, but getting those kills is pretty much what that's what they expect to get out of the laning stage. With 3 tier 1s down, and DK having a really good Roche lineup, it's just hard to see how Newbee could have won that engagement anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be very risky if they fight before the Radiant Spectre. And the lead that DK has now I don't think it's huge at all. They're leading by 4k gold. It's because of 1 Roshan and 3 towers ahead. Creeps wise, everything is about the same.
And this is where you've got a Dragonite who doesn't have BKB. That's a core item, and it's not too far off. They'll use Dragon Tail here to clean up some Forge Spirits, but yeah, like they slowly but surely give up ground, and then they just wait until their core items come online, and then all of a sudden we'll see Newbee make a big stand. Although this is not going to help. Xiao 8 impaled, Sunstriked, and just overextends bottom. That's the kind of kills they don't want to be giving up. Give up the tower, that's okay, but the kills they can't afford.
Yeah, he was just trying. I don't think he should have tried even to defend the tower. There's no way he could have defended the tower, but he wanted to buy as much time for his team as possible. Try to slow down the tower push, but paid with his life with the Carapace.
You know, it was just like a low reward, high risk kind of play. Like even if they weren't gonna get a tower in exchange, Newbee wasn't.
Yeah.
The waves were like here and here, and then they're risking the death of a core hero. So
maybe if you Firefly towards the tree line, towards the bottom side of the map, it'll be much safer that way. But yeah.
Well, it happens. Not the end of the world for Newbee, but that's where DK now all of a sudden they take a tower and they get a kill and they're up to like 7, 8k. And now they'll go mid lane. There's a sentry ward here. Ice, still no points in Wex. I guess he figures if he gets stunned, he's dead anyway, so why bother with Ghost Walk?
It's still deafening buzz. Oh no, he might get caught out here.
Oh, there's a blink available right onto a perfect jump from Xiao 8 into the Impale. The Dragon Tail's there as well, and there's just nowhere to go. But back to the well. And DK will just start split pushing. Birdie will push in the top lane. MMY is going to come in reserve. If anyone TPs to defend this tower, they're dead. There's a Radiant Sentry here, but no Observer to give... Oh, actually, they just have the vision from the creeps. They've seen MMY, they know he's top. Oh, in comes the blink, but immediately sent back. Good plays from DK. Just stalling while they go in top. They found how. They even saw the Nyx. I saw them painted out. They had the sentry here giving them vision. I could have sworn it was a Newbee ping.
Oh no, Flame Break was on cooldown still. Yeah, I think they saw the NA, but maybe they didn't know the NA had a blink. That's why.
Yeah, he was only near the. That's true. He was only near the sentry for like a second or two. So maybe he figured, all right, I can just run away if this Nyx comes at me.
Yeah, but he didn't expect the blink.
That's the one here who can't die. The Spectre is getting close to Relic.
He's still really far. Still like okay, not that far, but he still needs some time.
That death makes it feel really far. Instead of being like 3,200 gold, it's 2,900, and that's almost 1k off just from the Relic.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, he needs it as soon as possible for them to at least to be able to fight. Burning has his Lincolns now, not that quick of a deal, considering that his team is like 5 towers ahead.
His CS is good. It's just the deaths that have slowed him down.
Yeah, he would have been really far ahead if he didn't get caught out like.
And they did rotate him bottom as well, so he hasn't been totally on an island farming, but yeah, it's not Burning's grade A performance, that's for sure.
And this is gonna be the last tier 2 tower outside of the map, and for every tower they give up, they need to be able to get the Spectre closer to the Radiance.
It's literally just gonna come down to the timing crunch.
Bad Rider. Okay, he went towards the bottom side.
Can they actually kill Hao here?
I don't think so. He's too
even with
tanky for the
Sunstrike? Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Unless Mushi was there as well, then probably they can.
It is a level. It's almost max Sunstrike though. That's almost 500 nuke damage pure as well. That's half his health, but yeah, I think they'd still be a bit short. Even so.
Oh, do they see him?
Shall we? Blinking in. Her lasso MOI pulls him back, but there's no backup here. Now the familiars come. He gets off the Carapace though, and that could mean the death of Shao. Double familiar stun coming through. The Sunstrike's there as well. It doesn't connect. They get the first kill on the Nyx, and now the chase is on Rubik. He's stolen Sakuchi, but they've lost their Bat Rider. He's already used lasso, so not the biggest loss. And on the front side comes Moo with the BKB pop. Bernie just diving for this kill. No, he won't continue. They get a 1-for-1. Just stalling, I guess, mainly while the Aegis is still up.
Yeah, the Spectre is 4.2k now. He needs another like 1k for his Radiance.
I think that 1-for-1 is worth it because now DK, they're low, they're out of mana, they use Hand of God, the mech's on cooldown. They probably won't push with this Aegis.
And the Aegis has I think, is it running out?
Yeah, it's 30 seconds. It's almost gone.
Yeah. The clock seems... Did they change the clock?
I don't know if Valve is has not entered the 21st century yet, but we have these things called digital clocks, which would be nice to have in the pit. I guess their feeling is it's not as aesthetically pleasing.
I swear the clock wasn't like this before.
Huh? No, this is how it always is.
But no, never mind. Maybe I'm...
Yeah, each quarter is 2 minutes, Winter. So when it gets 3, it's the 6 minutes.
Yeah, I remember when the Aegis expires when it's here. But why it expired? Now it changed to this side.
Maybe your clock's bugged, because mine is right at like the 9 p.m. mark right now.
Okay.
Or did you forget how to read a clock during your absence, Winter? Do you need some lessons?
You need to teach me.
I offer them free of charge, my friend. I won't even charge you. For you you get a deal. Free lessons on how to read clocks.
You know, in Malaysia we call that brother price.
Brother price. That's awesome. Wow.
Free of charge, brother price. Okay, I'll make sure I take that lesson when I see you the next time.
Yeah. When you come to LA, then you'll have your lessons. You are coming, right? No, I'm gonna put you on the spot like that. DK are gonna back off.
Soon. I'm coming soon.
That's such a Valve statement. Yeah, coming soon, guys. 3 years later, free to play. How cruel would it be if they delayed the release tomorrow? That would be pretty.
No,
bad.
they won't. Don't worry.
They can't now. They've flown in Dendy. Twitch has leaked the whole thing, so they got to go through with it. Do you have any plans for it? Are you gonna have like a viewing party or watch it on Twitch or not? You already saw it.
I'll be at the cinemas catching some newly released movie.
Not free to play.
Not free to play.
Oh, Winter. I don't know about your priorities.
I thought we already watched it.
Yeah, but it's the official release. Don't you want to be a part of history?
But it's the same video, right? Is
Yeah.
it going to be like
It's
additional
like,
parts?
from what I've heard, it hasn't changed much from the one they showed at TI, but I could be wrong.
Okay, maybe there's some parts where it's different, but I guess the most of the part will be the same. And here comes the Radiance finally at 24 minutes.
And now, well, it's been a slow game. 10 kills in 24 minutes. Score 6-4. DK with a 14k gold lead, a 7.5k experience lead. But Newbee, the kind of lineup that win one fight, and suddenly the game turns. So DK,
Yeah.
they know they have to be careful about this.
It's not a very huge lead. It's like all from the towers alone. If they lose one fight, they will lose the map control, and the money will go back towards Newbee.
They're actually up 6 towers to 0.
Yeah, 3 centaurs on the Chen now. This is gonna be like, I think, one of the best creeps he will be able to use for this fight.
And he's got like a Nyx to set him up here, so...
Maybe even force off one of his centaurs in. That'd be cool.
That would be some serious micro. 4-step your own centaur, then switch to it and stomp? That's impressive.
Yeah, Chuan did it. I can't remember on which competitive game. He did it once before. And some other player, there were players doing it a few times. Are we 2000 as well?
Yeah, then like the natural reaction is like take your hands off the keyboard and be like, yeah, I'm awesome at Dota. Then you realize you've still got 2 other centaurs, a Hand of God, and a mech to use as well.
And you need to like send back someone in
Yeah,
danger.
exactly. So we'll see. There's a smoke here from Newbee. And they're moving through. Of course, not spotted by DK. The sentry won't help you there, but... I
Mushi
don't know.
seems like he's in a very precarious position.
He's got a pipe here, though. If he gets the pipe off, he's not dying. Not without all 4.
I think he will still dive.
Well, I meant when it was just these 2, but the smoke's over now anyway.
But even if those 2, there's always the horn with the radiance. I still think there's a good chance he'll die.
Well, if you do that, then Mushi is just like I guess he doesn't have buyback, but in theory it's like, hey, they use haunt just to kill a centaur. Buyback, go mid.
GG.
Maybe. GG. Well, they'll go Roche instead. This is the safe way to get a lead.
And Burning has... Okay, this is very well timed. He has Desolator, they have Aegis, they have a Pipe, they have a Mech, they have 3 Centaurs, Necrobook 3. Everything is done.
The zoo is prepared. They've got the full menagerie here. But will their summons obey them in the critical hour?
There's one more thing they might want to... Okay, Chen is stuck on a cliff. There's
Alpha?
one more thing maybe they might want to do before. Maybe get a pick off, but I still think they can just go in without a pick off. What is the Chen doing there? Okay, he's waiting for his
dewarding.
Dewarding. Okay, he's waiting for his first stuff. He didn't want to use a ward to check.
That's a weird... Yeah, like, you don't want to place an observer ward here when you've got 6 towers up. That's just bizarre.
Yeah, you want it to be like this one.
I don't see where you're drawing.
Right outside the entrance of the Radiant base.
Ah, there you go. These old eyes, Winter. I need glasses. Well,
You're
DK are gonna
not even
push
the
through.
one with glasses. Man, I'm the one with glasses.
Oh, look at that teamwork. They're gonna steal a Sakuchi here for Banana. What actually... Was it the Rubik that broke it? Yeah, I guess he fade bolted and then still...
Yeah,
okay,
he
no teamwork then. Just the Rubik.
Personal
He's a
play.
one-man team.
The Familiars is gonna push out the top, but the towers are just too healthy. They're not gonna be able to get anything done here.
I think they
Maybe
kind of need the familiars at the base, and you don't want to have to like waste your respawn.
I feel it's okay for them to have it outside because they need something to be going on the top and bottom lanes while DK is pushing S5 here.
Okay. I guess if they really need them, they can resummon them, but it's just very risky if they die at that point. No familiars for 2.5 minutes.
At least the Visage is farming with it and pushing out the lanes, so dealing a bit of damage to the towers.
DK are still mounting the pressure. The Deso's up and burning. They've got everything they want, including the pipe. They'll pop it now. Safety first from DK. They'll go in for the stun, but Moo, he gets stun up. Centaur stun number 1, 2, 3, but he gets 4-step back out. He's still got BKB. He's actually gonna live. Oh, that 4-step saved him. Now they lasso burning. Pull him in. He does have an Aegis here. Can they Dragon Tail him? BKB gets popped. Now Moo. His opportunity burning. Will they stun him? The Lincolns came off cooldown. But he's flame breaked. He's almost dead. He will go down. Will he buy back time lapse in? He's gonna do it. But he time lapse back with no health. Dies again. Burning. No! Not like that. What was he thinking? Oh, the unfortunate timing from Burning. A triple kill to the Spectre. And DK might have just thrown this game, Winter. Oh boy. Burning. Buy back time lapse in. And had no health. And we've even got our admin all chatting here now.
Oh no.
Well, spectator chat.
That fight was because of like the force staff. After the force staff, they needed to back right away, but they still
Dire's
wanted to
middle
go,
tower is
and
under attack.
it was because of the lasso. In that, when you overextend against a Bat Rider, the fight is over.
Well,
One
and
person has to die.
this is what we meant when we say Newbee is the kind of lineup that will defend high ground very well.
Yeah, you think about like DK has everything: Aegis, Pipe, Necrobook,
Deso.
No, they have everything, and they still, when they overextend, they still get punished against the Bat Rider lasso.
Man, that timing was pretty unlucky though. If he had, I don't know, just
Uh,
died a little bit faster. If he had died faster, he would have come back with full health.
I still felt that if he had HP, he comes back, the fight is still already lost. I don't think he could have.
His
done
team
much.
would have been in a compromising position, like all up on the tower and not where they want to be, which is more like in this region.
Yeah, they can't really fight there in so deep against like dispersion. The Visage will be spamming soul assumptions left and right. And not to mention there was a Firefly there too. It was a really hard spot for them to battle.
Ay ay ay. Burning is he's not got his sea legs under him. That was a costly dieback though. All of a sudden, your Spectre triple kill and has Reaver Gold. Very close to a completed heart.
He already bought the Reaver. He's like he feels so confident that he doesn't even need the buyback for the next fight.
Oh my goodness.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
DK, what do you think their chances are as this goes later and later? Do they have any chance late game, or are they just they have to win with like their
very
next
slim,
push?
but they still have a chance because Invoker can get a hex, and they still can kill the Spectre. They coordinate things right, but it's gonna be very hard. After the Bat Rider has BKB, it's gonna be very hard. That's the next most important item for Newbie. Means that Bat Rider's initiations cannot be stopped.
Your Centaur all
Oh,
gets
here comes
popped,
Stampede.
and they all just go flying back. They're
Yeah,
they're very tentative now. They're fearful of this LGD or Newbie initiation.
Yeah, not to mention the Rubik that stole Stampede the last fight also made a huge difference.
Yeah. It almost kept him alive that first time after the Aegis popped, but now your Shadowblade comes out. Dragon Knight only level 13. He is a bit underleveled here, but he's not the damage dealer. They don't need the Frost Dragon that badly, to be honest. Not very useful against Weaver. All they really need is just that initiation.
He's dead.
Blake, Lasso, MMY, caught out of position. Something stolen from him now by the Rubik. It's an Impale. They'll have some extra stuns for the next fight, and he'll just melt. This is looking worse and worse for DK, just in terms of execution more than anything. Just going off on their own, getting picked off. I guess at this point they'll just wait for the next Roche, but that's going to be at least 2 minutes, maybe 5.
The next Roche gives them a Cheese and Aegis, but it feels like the fight, even with the Cheese and Aegis, they're still gonna be pushed to the extent to win the fight. It's very hard for them to win the fight already now.
And Newbee is not going to give up this next Roche, I don't think. If they want to contest it, they're almost ready to. There's a Blink Force gem on Shao 8. Spectre's godly farmed already with a heart at 32 minutes, as well as the Radiance Phase drums. He's ready to do work.
He won Ultimate, and I think the Chen and the Nyx is just... Okay, maybe the Nyx will be able to last a little bit longer than the Chen.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe not. But
we're
yeah.
talking about how long DK will last, and what they want to be thinking about is how long they can, like, until they can break Newbee's base, but that seems very ambitious at this stage of the game.
Yeah, but the next fight, once the Bat Rider lassos someone, Lamb has... I feel he like needs a Blink Dagger to make sure that every time the Bat Rider lassos someone, he is there to send him back. Otherwise, the
Stay
fight
back and then blink in for the send back.
Yeah, I think he needs to get a Blink Dagger so he's able to make sure that the guy is gonna be sent back.
The only thing that DK have going for them is there's no Spectre buyback right now, and if they win a fight, well, if he does die somehow, then there's no Spectre for a long time. But he's gonna have it soon.
How is he gonna die at the moment? It's like so hard.
There's gonna be a Blink Force into a Lasso here. There's a gem. Force Staff and then Lasso him back. They broke in the Linkage. They bring him right into the Familiars, and Burning just gets ripped down with ease. Meanwhile, the Haunt, I think, could have gone for some kills here on these backline heroes. Could have gone for Lamb, but he'll play it safe. Well, they did use up the Haunt, but I don't know if they need it.
They don't even need the Horn anymore now since Burning is down. They're just free to take this tower. Okay, this is a time where one by one, all the towers are gonna fall, and Newbee's gonna take a huge advantage over the game.
A big Wrecking Ball is coming, but there's a Blink Stomp, and immediately the follow-up Impale from the Rubik. Now Mushi on the back foot. Your Rubik has stolen a Hoof Stomp. He wants to drop it, but just in the nick of time will be able to retreat out. Now Lamb also on the run. And, well, they'll get out. So they send back Mushi, they keep him alive. And Newbee take the tower. A big red Wrecking Ball is coming in the form of Moose Dragon Knight. They'll back off just for a few moments. And good news for DK, Roche respawns very early. Almost as early as possible, so they might just be able to sneak this. Although they're checking it now. Well, they check it a few seconds too early.
Oh no. That's very unfortunate.
We'll see how disciplined they are. Do they look to send a Forge Spirit in here? No, now the familiars come. Newbee are also playing disciplined Dota. No big mistakes from them, not yet.
And the horn is coming off cooldown soon, 40 seconds. It's gonna be up if they try to do the rush soon.
You're bend but don't break. Shall wait. This really, it feels like the old LGD in terms of their play style. And sure, they've got a lot of Tong Fu players, but doesn't it just have that like Shao Wait is the captain kind of feel to it, Winter?
Yeah, it does. I told you the other day when I was watching them play. It doesn't feel like Newbee, it feels like LGD.
Yeah. Well, we saw some of the limitations of LGD style in the past, but we're seeing some of the instant benefits of, you know, they've only been together as a team for a few weeks, maybe a month, and already they are like a well-oiled machine.
It's like LGD style, but with a much more aggressive players with Mu and Hao.
Maybe that's what they need. They'll Dragon Tail just to kill off a friggin' Necro Book here. Why not? They feel like they don't need it on the sides, though. Come the initiation from MMY. They do instantly burst down Shao 8. No Batrider Lasso to start this fight off now. Your Spectre Honk gets deployed, and he comes charging in. They have stolen something here. Is it Stampede? No, it's just the Hoof Stomp. The Spectre's been kited effectively so far. They've lost their Visage as well, and now they start to focus the Spectre. He's getting chain stun. Can they bring him down? I think they will. Too much stun. They do it, but it almost cost them Lamb's life. Getting the Batrider. There's no initiation there. DK. What a bend but don't break moment for them. They turned that one right around, and now this could be Roche.
Yeah, I think this is the Roshan they can't contest. They can buy back the Spectre, but it's no points at the moment.
Shao 8 just that was where most teams wouldn't want to jump a hero like Batrider, but DK just MMY goes flying in right at him. And that won them the fight.
He made a mistake overstaying at that position when the Ursa scouted him.
You know, I don't think he needs to initiate. Like, let your Dragon Knight start the fight. He's much tankier. He's got BKB.
Yeah, but they are going when Xiaowei doesn't have a BKB yet. I think, like I said before, BKB is the item they must have for the fight on the Batrider.
Well, DK do win that fight. Still, though, despite the death, Spectre up to 2,100 gold. He continues to farm, but we've seen he's mortal. If they're able to focus him, they can bring him down. And Shao 8 might actually die again. No, they're not going to go for it.
They can try with the Sunstrike and Stampede, but yeah, I don't think they can kill him with only the Nyx. He's almost, he almost have his BKB soon. They really need the BKB. I don't think they should take any more fights without the Batrider having his BKB yet. Unless DK makes a mistake, positional mistake, someone gets caught out of position.
For those just joining us, it's only game 1 of a best of 3. Loser not eliminated, but will drop down to play LGD in your loser bracket round 1. The winner moves on to play IG, who just got done 2-0ing LGD in very straightforward fashion earlier today. So, yeah, the winner of that winner bracket finals, they're into Kiev. They're going to qualify for the LAN finals. So, you win 2 best of 3s from the start, and you're in. But you lose one, and then you've got the harder road ahead of you.
I was watching that game. Ferrari was like he played really well on the second game.
Yeah, he had, what was it, like a 30-minute Boots of Travel Blink Hex, I think?
And he had a
28
Lincolns
minutes?
as well.
Yeah, he was so farmed.
He was very, very, very farmed. But it was still a really good fight by LGD. But yeah, it was not enough. But this game seems like it's going to go for quite some time, I feel. Because after making that mistake in middle, you'll be losing the Spectre means that they need to be very cautious. Before that, they had a very huge advantage, but now it's more of a... I still think they have the advantage even though DK has the Aegis and Cheese.
And the gold. I mean, DK is up 12k gold and 10k experience, but... Yeah, I would... Especially in the team fights, that's where Newbee should be stronger if they get the initiations.
Yeah, the goal advantage that little is really negligible at this point. the team fight is what's going to win Newbee the game, and Spectre is going to be able to build maybe one more item before the next fight. The
Yep.
diffusers, or maybe I think diffusers is his best option. Top lane, are they going to go in?
Both teams backing off. As for burning though, he's gone BKB Lincolns. So now he's very difficult to focus in fights. And I wonder if burning gets another damage item, and maybe he's got a buyback for the next fight. Has 3 lives, but this time with a lot more survivability and damage items. That's where maybe he could just like instantly kill a hero like the
Oh,
Rubik.
MMY.
They've got the gem here. They have spotted him out, and both teams just both teams just in the game of chicken. They both turn away instantly. Nobody wants to fight.
Newbie is also worried about fighting when not everyone is there. If they lose a fight now, it's gonna be really devastating for them.
It is Yasha, so it'll be a Manta for Hao, which is the bigger overall damage output item. If you're getting Desolate damage, way more damage that way than a Diffusal Blade. But
I was feeling like the diffuser could be useful against the Chen Sandbag since you can purge it off.
do you know if does it? Can you purge off the Centaur ult?
Yeah. What purge off the Centaur ult?
Yeah, can you purge it?
I haven't tried it before, but I don't think you should be able to purge off the Centaur.
Okay.
I don't know.
Something
know
I
you can
guess
purge off
I'd be curious to see.
The Sandbag can be purged for sure.
Yeah, it's hard in these team fights sometimes to tell. Oh, they've seen MMY, I think. He blinked up the hill, but there's an Observer Ward here for the Radiant. And they're retreating. Hal even throws a dagger out.
Yeah, the Hex on Invoker will make sure they'll be able to pick the Spectre off right now. So he needs to be extra cautious wherever he's going around the map. He still has buyback for the next fight.
Well, now they'll go aggressive here with Bernie. He's got BKB Lincolns, and he's just hoping they go on him, I guess. Although he doesn't have his team here, so more just trying to take every bit of farm away from Newbee that is. God, I keep on wanting to say LGD. Newbee, that's possible.
Yeah, he has finally the director has his BKB. The next fight is his initiation will be like if he pulls in the Weaver. I think the Invoker is the primary target he wants to pull since the Weaver has Aegis, BKB, and the Link and everything. So maybe if they can pick off the Invoker from the start, it's the best way for them to start the fight.
And then it comes down to the Chen and the Nyx. Do they get a good counter initiation or send back? But even if they send him back, he's out of the fight. So
he has boost of travel to come back instantly.
You're right.
Yeah, that's the thing about Invoker going BOT against this lineup. It's very good.
Burning. I walk right into a dagger here. Yeah, not ready to fight yet. He's still a ways off from completing his inventory though, especially with these items. Very defensive build. I feel like he might at least one, maybe even 2 damage items before he's fully
Oh my god,
ready
he
to
almost
fight.
got caught there.
It's like he's baiting this, but there's nobody behind him, and they're just gonna lift him in. He's got BKB, he's got time lapse, and he's got Aegis, so he's not too worried about a death, but you don't want to waste that Aegis either.
Yeah,
They actually
Mushi
almost got a
top.
Carapace stun on the Radiant Spectre there. He's just out of range of it, I guess.
Yeah, Spectre was moving way too quick for the Nyx to chase up.
Sorry, I interrupted you. My apologies, my friend.
It's okay.
It's very.
It's okay.
Where are my manners?
Just get me some dim sum.
Dim sum? We've got some good food around here. I think we had some Korean barbecue the other night. All you can eat. Quite good.
Do you have Bulgogi Brothers there?
Bulgogi Brothers, is that a chain?
Yeah, it's quite a popular chain, even in Korea.
Maybe we do?
But
I haven't heard of it. It sounds good though, it's quite a name.
It's okay if you don't have that. I don't mind settling down for Papa John's.
No, we have... There's quite good Asian food here. Oh, BKB. They've gone in on MMY, Firefly, and... Can't burst him. The Chen was right next to him, and they've haunted forward for this kill. Lamb, no Force Staff. He's got a Hand of God, though. Now they pop the Centaur. They baited in Hao. Can they chain stun him down? He gets Force Staffed out of range of the stun. And now Moo goes in with a BKB. Dragon Knight doing massive damage. He brings down one. But Hao's dropping pretty low. Deafening Blast. He's just getting pushed around like a ping pong ball. Force Staff left. Force Staff right. Burning's still healthy on the flip side of the fight, but if he gets stunned, he's dead. He will go down. He already popped the Aegis for this fight, and, well, now the Blink, Centaur Stomp. Does he time-lapse back into the fray? He does! He rejoins the fight! This time it's a good time-lapse, a good return to the fight for Burning. King J's gonna fall here. The Rubik comes in, but it'll probably be the death of Banana as well. Actually does manage to steal the Sakuchi and should escape. Should escape, but now they march down mid. Spectre has the buyback, but no Haunt. Batrider, no buyback. And your Visage, also no... Well, actually, he does have buyback. So 2 buybacks out of 3 here. But no BKB for some of these core heroes. Well, they get what they wanted. They force out the buyback, but they lift in Mushi. I don't know if they want to focus Mushi. There's a sendback here. Yeah, these sendbacks. Man, they are turning the fights.
They just need the defusal, seriously. Just constantly sending Mushi in as bait. He initiates and the Chen sends him back before that, and he just like comes back. He gets a free initiation. If they get a very good stomp on like multiple heroes, then they fight. If they don't get a good stomp, they just back off. It's like a free ticket.
Free ticket to ride the lamb train, and then get spun back to your home ground and return to the fray only when you're ready. Well, we do, you know, we see that was I think what's interesting about that fight as well is I think Weaver's a bit underrated as a late game hero because of the buyback time lapse. Without that, they don't get those extra kills, but buyback time-lapse late game on Weaver, suddenly he's got 3 lives in some fights and makes the difference.
Oh, here comes the director. He's gonna go in.
But he goes in without a whole lot of help. He's gonna die to Burning very quickly. Xiao 8 will melt, and Mushi's still at full HP. This Centaur is fat as hell. He's got a pipe still available, hasn't popped yet. Sunstrike comes through, almost cleans up Banana. He's forced to retreat out. Burning is running. They'll get Mushi here. But a bat for a Centaur seems just like an even trade.
Yeah, position 3 for position 3. Maybe I would say it's a bit more to DK's favor since they have to blow the horn to get the kill.
Ah, you're right. Yeah.
They wasted more resources for that. But yeah, at this point, you can't really push as DK when you have the Centaur down anyway. So the horn will be up soon when the Centaur comes out.
Look at this. Ice is going Mjolnir on his Invoker. They want a secondary core for the late game here. And they're gonna have it. He's gonna hit quite hard. Max Exhort, and you throw the Alacrity on him, or Burning. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
And you know, the other nice thing is they've got the shield for the Centaur, so Mushi is truly untargetable in these fights. They cannot afford to target Mushi.
Oh, that's actually a really good way of using. I was thinking, the charge on either the Invoker or the Weaver doesn't seem very intimidating at all. Then, oh yeah, they have a Centaur.
Okay, so this Centaur has like 3,300 health. He's got Evasion, he's got Pipe, and additional magic resistance from it. And now he's got the Overcharge buff, so yeah. You gotta ignore him, but can you ignore Centaur? I think to some extent, but like it's just that stomp that really concerns you.
Yeah, they can still ignore him. Like he's not doing too much right-click damage after he gets his
No,
double
Centaur
edge,
does not right-click very hard.
Yeah, he does not right-click hard. But when he gets I think when he gets a Shiva, he'll be very annoying in the fights.
Oh,
it's gonna be very useful for him. Like he can just blink in and cause a lot of havoc, and the minus attack speed aura will be very useful against the DK and the Spectre.
They've got a fresh Aegis here for Burning. So far, the Aegises haven't been that effective. I think the last one actually expired. I didn't see him use it in the fight, but it was gone either way and didn't really do a whole lot. The other one, he just died and was forced to buy back after wasting the Aegis, but will this one be the charm? I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, if he's like a bit more farm, maybe the last few Aegis would have been much more useful. But yeah, he's not been having the best games, getting caught out early. But he's gonna have one more item slot to build on. Maybe he still dies fairly quickly when he doesn't have BKB, since he takes a lot of damage from Dispersion and the Desolate.
Yeah, that's why he they need this Aegis advantage for the Weaver to take these late game fights, because he'll probably have to buy back anyway.
Yeah, maybe he gets a heart now. I think if he gets more damage, he still dies very easy. So I feel he needs something to make sure that he's sustaining himself throughout the fights and not easily burst down during just one lasso or just one Dragonite stun.
Speaking of Dragonite, Assault Caress is out. He's kept his farm up quite well. They're still trailing.
If I tell you that he's the only guy that's a virgin now,
What?
0 death.
Oh, that was fun. Man, confessions of winter about Moo's sexual history.
Okay, that's not very appropriate, but yeah. Okay, he's 0
Jesus,
death. That's all I
dude.
wanted to say.
That was like what you said there was very different from what I thought you were saying.
It's
Wow.
actually a habit that I have it's like in Malaysia. It's a Southeast Asian thing. Okay, I
You
should
call
have.
if you call player a virgin if they haven't died yet in the game.
Yeah,
They haven't spilt blood yet, I suppose, but
yeah, that's what not very appropriate.
now
Sorry.
it's very inappropriate. Let's just stop here. Let's pretend this conversation never happened, Winter. And we'll go on with the cast. So DK now, 49 minutes in, they've held a lead for almost the entire game, ever since like the 5-minute mark, but they haven't ended the game yet. They haven't broken the base. They're up against a really strong late game high ground lineup, and this Visage has pretty good items. King J, a very strong late game support on the Visage, and your Rubik's getting pretty bad farm, to be honest, but Moose kept up, and now Hao is just going to be way off on his own. Sure, he's got familiar backup here, but there's an Impale, and now a Mushi stun, and it's just a complete beatdown on the top lane, and with this stun block from the Invoker, he ain't going anywhere. Whoa. He was really off on his own.
Yeah, he was like so far out of the map without them even seeing. They have only did like this ward, this ward here on the river, saying there's no one nearby. But yeah, there's no lane wards and anything. The other 2 wards are at the bottom side of Newbee's map, so he had very little intel that who else was nearby at all. But he was so far out.
And that's a concern. That's where your dispersion just doesn't feel as powerful when everyone's tanky. Now the MKB's up on Bernie. Now he hits hard. There's an instant buyback, and it's a headlong retreat, but they last when Ice says Invoker down right the bat. And the buyback, Boots of Travel into the fight. Could be coming soon. He's coming to the back creep wave. While that's happening, they brought down Bernie once, but he pops BKB. He'll retreat out, and Ice finagles for a good positioning. Mushi stands strong. 2 hero impale, but it looks like Newbee are just too tanky thus far. Now the Deafening Blast. Behold the meatball. And now they're on a retreat. Burning, though, low as well. Forced to back off. They lift up Mushi. They drop him down. A Blink Impale once again on 2. And now it's Banana's turn to turn this fight around. He hits 2 as well. They bring down the Weaver. Burning's fallen. Can he buy back? No buyback gold. Sunstrike.
Oh no!
Oh, almost enough. Actually hit him, too. Just didn't quite have the damage output there. And Chaoe keeps on fighting against Mushi, but he gets sent back. And I think, is that finally the end of this crazy, crazy fight? No! Ice. No, not quite enough for the kill.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wow. So who used buyback there? Spectre bought back and Invoker bought back. They burnt the Aegis.
Coming off cooldown. Sunstrike is coming off cooldown. He might just nail him at the base.
Just short.
Okay.
Just short.
Oh my, that was so close.
And Bat didn't have buyback, although I don't think they would have gotten Rex off of it. But yeah, just a little bit off the mark.
Yeah, he didn't manage to use the cheese. They passed him the cheese after he lost his Aegis, but he didn't manage to use the cheese.
This is... Did Dragon Knight get his first death of the game there? Yes, he did. He spilt blood.
Yeah,
He's
he spilled
4-1
blood.
and 10 now.
That's what I was worrying about the Weaver. He actually went for like he completed MKB instead of the heart. That's why he was very weak if he got locked down. He was very easy to die. But he was like worried that his team didn't have enough damage either, because like the Spectre has the evasion already up.
Well, now there's the Shivas up on Mushi. This is where it gets hard to ignore him. And finally they've gotten the late game Diffusal Blade. Hal went for a value Talisman of Evasion. Creeps came in.
It's value for your money, a lot of value. I can't really say too much about that evasion. It's really strong on Spectre.
Yeah, it is. Well, here's your Chen Scepter as well. So,
He actually went for Scepter?
if they win a fight, like they slightly won that fight mid, if they win a fight, this time they don't have to go back to base. Chen can just, even if he needs to buy back, just buy back once he's got the gold and just start spamming his heal every 30 seconds to sustain the push.
Yeah, still I feel it's not actually a very strong pickup for the Chen. I feel like late game situation, sometimes getting a Hex, because Scepter is not cheap at all, getting a Hex would be a much more game changing factor.
Maybe he just wants the health versus the Spectre though. He is a bit
Yeah.
squishy.
The heal is very good against long sustains.
Uh-oh.
Against
This could be the game-deciding fight, and there's no buyback on the Spectre, and DK know it. They're gonna walk right in. The stun is there. It is on the mark, and now the BKB gets popped. They lasso up the ideal target in Ice, but can they focus him down? They need this Invoker dead. He is dead. He's got no buyback. Spectre standing strong on the sidelines. Banana, he steals the stomp, and it looks like the fight's actually going Newbee's way. They haven't lost a hero yet. They focus on Mushi. He's tanky, but Spectre is too, and they keep on chasing. But now, DK finds the way onto the backlines. They bring down King J. They assassinate the supports. Meanwhile, your Centaur goes down, but he does have buyback, and Burning starts to give chase. He's got cheese here. If he can just start focusing heroes down, it could be the end for Newbee in this engagement. The Nyx buys back as well. Can they bring down Burning? He cheeses. He gets Hand of God as well, but he's still dropping fast. The Stomp comes through Mushi, canceling it, casting it again. They're juking through the trees. Mu solo. The Impale's up the mark. Mushi, get that Stomp off. He can't do it. Great reactions from Mu. He TP's out to safety. And once again, another topsy-turvy fight that feels fairly even in the end.
Yeah, the fight started with Mushi missing his stomp on. He stomped nothing because the DK managed to drop it, open his BKB before anything happened. Yeah, that was a very bad engagement, bad fight to start with. But they still somehow managed to kill off the supports behind. We were going in and killing off the two weaker heroes first, the Rubik and the Research.
I mean, if you look at it, Newbee got a tower, DK lost 2 cores, and they spent cheese, and they got 2 supports in return. So, I'd say technically it's Newbee's win, I guess.
Yeah, it is definitely a Newbee win there.
But it's not that convincing where you can say like that's a game-changing fight. It's still close.
Did anyone buy back? Oh, actually, Nyx bought out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they used the buyouts as well on the. Oh, so they lost a support and 2 cores. Okay, so yeah, 2 buybacks, 3 heroes dead, 2 of them cores, and the cheese used, and they lost their tower. Newbee only lost 2 supports, so definitely a big win for Newbee, but
another quick Roshan spawn as well. LD.
The pace of this game it's gotten very frantic now. 22 to 17.
Hon is up, so they can just take a fight right now.
They've got the buyback as well. Oh, in a minute. A minute and 230 gold, but he's very close to it. Newbee, they're worried that the Rosh has already spawned and DK are taking it. They'll walk towards the pit. They'll look to clear it out.
Did they actually see the Roshan spawn?
Well,
that's Chen creep, right?
Yeah, it's a Chen creep.
Okay, maybe they already scouted it with the familiars. I didn't see.
Nice stomp. Good reactions from Lamb, but will he lose the Centaur here? Not just yet. DK are really kind of committing to the Rosh area. Nobody's pushing out top. The Creepster will do the job, but they'll do it slowly. And now Xiao 8 perches in position. Both teams.
He's waiting for his Firefly. 5 seconds before he tries to find an opening.
They're eyeing each other off here. DK have vision. So too, actually,
But Black Rider is the king of the hills if you fight
Newbee
at
don't
the
see
Rosh
them
pit.
right now, though.
Yeah. It's gonna clear out the Necro book, so this is still a really good pickup for them.
Easy gold. But now
the
side lanes are
presence of
pushing.
the books in the fights is also it's very annoying for the supports to deal with too.
The side lanes are pushing in. Are they just gonna... They can't really defend top. If they TP anyone out here, I guess Spectre can haunt. Spectre can haunt in, but then he won't have the buyback haunt is the problem.
He's the only one that can just go and defend the lanes. Yeah, but like you said, if he uses his horn that way, then he can't use the buyback plus the horn to come back instantly to the fight. He wants to do that because that's gonna be the one that deals the most damage. Mushi, is he gonna get stomped?
Mu, he's got Dragon Form here, and he's got a BKB. I'm surprised he didn't even... Mushi, I guess, just not the hero he wants to focus with the Chen on the backside, but...
He's too tanky. He's too tanky for them to go. It takes too long for them to kill. They want to kill... The first target they want to kill is the Invoker and the Chen, these two.
They've actually been doing it. Xiao 8 has had a laser focus on that Invoker 2 fights in a row. Instantly just goes on Ice and lassos him into the team and kills him.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
he's the most important target. Like, if he's down, the Weaver and the Centaur can't really kill anyone. He's the main source of lockdown. Him and the Nyx Assassin. And the Chen is there to protect everyone. So the Centaur and the Weaver is actually the targets they don't want to go on first. They need to clear out the other 3 heroes.
DK smoke around. They're gonna wrap through the jungle here.
Spectre is the first one leading the way.
Remember, he's got buyback. I don't even know if he's the hero you want to go on
He has
first,
buyback.
though. This could end up going poorly for DK if they blow too much to kill him. Now the lasso comes in, and Ice gets caught. He's going to be out of the fight quickly. He does have a buyback here, but now Mushi gets focused. The Spectre also falling. He buys back too. Both cores right back into it, but Burning's another hero to fall. He buys back as well. Timelapse is right back in. Can they just focus him down? They purge up Mushi, slowing him. The Spectre's not dropping. That's the big problem here. Ice just working on the peripheries of the fight, but can't find a good angle. They've lost the Centaur as well, and he does not have buyback. A minute on cooldown. Doesn't have the gold either, and now it's a headlong chase towards top. Maybe towards mid? No, he's just going top. Push the creeps in. Maybe he'll backdoor the racks at that point, but this will be Roche, Aegis Cheese for Newbee, and possibly game. They might just be able to throne it after this. No Centaur for 90 seconds.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even, his buyback, does he have enough gold? Oh no, he doesn't even have enough gold when it comes off cooldown. So it doesn't really
actually,
matter.
Burning's gonna get stunned up here. The Heaven's Halberd broke the Lincoln Sphere.
Under attack.
Nicely done, but not enough to get the kill. Ice. He's chasing. He gets Grave Chilled, though. He's all of a sudden very slow from the Diffusal Blade. Stunned, dies, and no buyback. No Centaur for 70. No Invoker for 100.
Has fallen.
And they do take down a tier 3, but they might lose more here. They're just giving up too many bodies at this point. There's a lasso available. He really wants Burning. Maybe should just settle here for somebody else. No, he dead the Lincoln's up. Lasso wasted.
I think the DK would have survived that if the Rubik actually telekinesis the Weaver instead of the Nyx Assassin. But he was worried that he had Lincolns, maybe. But his Lincolns was actually on cooldown.
Oh, I just heard a BKB. Yeah, Burning going in now, and Xiao Wei does have a Ghost Scepter here. They're just going to try and stall this fight out as much as possible. Do they have a gem for detection? They do. Lift him up, but there's no lasso, and Burning knows with no lasso, there's just no fighting here. So Xiao Wei's the one who goes down, drops the gem as well, buys back instantly, but he's buying back with no lasso for 15 seconds. The Rubik's going to drop as well. Burning, is he turning this game around? Another Impale? Can he focus move down? He's so very tanky. Heaven's Halberd gets popped, and he just goes in. The Dragon's going deep, but Burning still fighting his way out. Timelapse doesn't do enough. He goes down again. No buyback on Burning. That's like 5 heroes hitting the deck without buyback this game. And meanwhile, they're coming in through mid. Hal's just diving them at the well. The creeps parade through. He's going to take racks while Birdie was in pursuit on the backside. So they get a single lane of racks. Do they get out safely now? No Weaver for 100 seconds. The Invoker's still on the sidelines for 30. And now the Lasso's back up. The BKB's back up. Xiao Wei Boots have traveled in for it. And they might just look to take 2 racks. This might be enough for Newbee to take the game. I don't see them defending without either of their cores. They'll try, though. They'll give it one last good shot. Blinking from Moshi. He does get the stun off. He's sent back. But Newbee should just ignore this. Focus on the objective. That's your racks. The tier 3 falling fast. DK still waiting. The Familiars get put up, and now the Shivas comes through. But Hal's going to take a second lane of racks here. If he dies, he also doesn't have buyback, though. He's got to be careful. He's penitent. He's slowed down a bit. Moo just comes driving through, gets off a stun, then retreats quickly while Mushi's in hot pursuit. Tornado connects on 2. The meatball splashes, but Moo turns around with the BKB, goes right on Ice, and Ice falls. Still no buyback. Once again, he's dead. The Visage buys back. This looks like it could be the end. Mushi, though, return. Standing strong, he charges forth. Mushi manning up, brains down the Spectre, who also lacks for buyback. He'll be on the sidelines for 130 seconds. Sure, they got 1 lane of Rex. Isn't enough. Moo's gonna drop here as well, it looks like. A stun. Another double edge. The late game Centaur's doing it. The player's getting a bit frantic. The pains are wildly flying out. And they only got 1 lane of Rex in the end.
Is under attack.
Yeah, they overextended for the second, but I can't really blame them for that because Burning was down. I didn't expect them to lose the fight, but they were actually really low on mana and HP, and they just were overconfident. And the good thing, actually not the good thing, like the way the fight started, they pick off Ice, that's why they thought they could do it without the 2 big cores. But Centaur was doing so much damage, actually.
This Centaur is, I want to say, Winter, he's actually winning the man fight with Spectre. At least, like, when the Spectre's not 100% full health.
Yeah, the return is, like, based on his strength. He has so much strength right now.
With the heart.
Like,
with the old return, this never would have happened, though. When it's just flat damage, it would have been useless.
22 plus 100, so it's actually around 130 per strike.
Does the return, I guess the return damage gets dispersed as well? Does it? I think so.
It should be, because Disperse works with area damage.
Oh, there's a lift on Mushi right as he pops his ultimate. DK charging through the middle lane. And now they're going straight for the throne. They're going to throne it. There's no Spectre here. There's no Dragon Knight here. DK are doing it. 63 minutes in. They just had one too many buybacks. The respawns at the right moment. And Mushi zones them out. Well, Burning, eyes on the prize. They'll lasso up one. They'll try and stall this, but it's only MMY. He's not the hero. Bring up now. Mushi dives the well. And the GGs come out. DK take it. 24-29. 63 minutes in. They outlast the Spectre, DK, and Bat late game. What a game. What a game.
Oh, didn't really expect that ending after they fought against no Weaver all the way, 5 versus 4 from the bottom lane, and they lost the fight.
My goodness, DK, that was not expected. Honestly, after a few of those engagements, Burning with some very, I mean, let's be honest, Winters, he was kind of sloppy in the laning stage, but he turned it around. He really did.
Yeah, it's Newbee being overconfident from the last fight. They could have just played the fight even safer, like just back off, since they didn't have. I noticed they didn't have mana on the Research and the Bat Rider, and maybe even more heroes, but they still wanted to take the bottom fight since they pick off Ice Slice, and actually it was actually only 3 heroes there: the Chen, the Centaur, and the Nyx, and they managed to defend and just drive them back.
That late game Centaur, I think we're gonna have to reevaluate his late game strength. Honestly, buddy, he turned out to be the hero. Ice had a great start. He did a lot in the early mid game, but he just got completely shut down in the late game. And it was Mushi who picked up the slack. In Mushi we trust, I guess. Well, that's gonna wrap up game 1, guys. You are watching the Star Ladder China Season 9 playoffs. Only 2 teams move on to the LAN finals in Kiev. Who's it going to be? Right now, DK, if they win this match, they move on to play IG. The winner of that match goes to Kiev. We'll see you after a break for game number 2 in this best of 3. Stay tuned.